to the third installment of Spacecubed's Be Well with our meditation with the Yoga Vine. So I've got a few familiar faces that have joined us previously, but for those of you who haven't, this has been a great way to start our Thursday mornings, particularly dreamy. Danny, who participated last week, had nodded very, very wisely as he now has been converted to the wonders of meditation. So meditation rhymes with bacon, so there's lots of benefits to this, right? Again, it's such a great event, and I'm so delighted that you guys are joining us today. And my name's Dicey. For those of you that I haven't met, I'm part of the Spacecubed team. I'm going to hand you over to the lovely Donna, who's one of the directors of the Yoga Vine. Much like a lot of local businesses, the girls have had to adapt and diversify, and this has enabled them to take these amazing meditations and yoga online. So we get a bit of a sneak peek, and I can tell you more about that after our session. So introducing Donna from the Yoga Vine. As you do, darling. Thank you.
Thanks, Dicey. I love that there's a couple of pooches, or I can see one at least there. My dog is safely locked outside because she will just come and get involved and try to take over. But it's good to have the animals in there, let them in. But thanks so much again for having us, Dicey. And the first week that we did this, there was, some curious onlookers. And if you haven't done meditation before, that's great. It doesn't matter if you've done any kind of mindfulness or meditation before. And in the first week, I'm not sure if, Danny, I'm not sure if you were there first week, but there was a couple of you maybe, no, okay, where I just kind of wanted to distinguish between meditation and mindfulness, because they are kind of different, but they both kind of, mindfulness leads into meditation. So what I sort of like to say is that meditation can be a bit of a dirty word and freak people out a little bit, because we don't think we can sit still and, get into our heads or out of our heads, however you want to sort of look at it. But mindfulness is something that we can do every day in our waking state, walking from A to B, going to the water filter, doing your groceries, putting petrol in your car. You can be mindful at any time of the day. And so I like to sort of say that that's what we do. We're mindful in these types of meditations. So we're learning to become better meditators by becoming mindful first. So that's kind of a little baby step into meditation. So I thought we'd just do that as well. As I've sort of done most times I do meditations, I start like that. So if you're someone who's kind of experienced, then you'll know how to get there straight away. But what we'll do is we'll just start by getting comfortable. So getting into a nice comfy seat, and you can use any stuff that you've got at home to make that even more comfortable. I've got a wall behind me. I could shimmy back and use that. So if you've got a wall, you can lean against it. And it's really nice to close the eyes. It's not going to make you a better person by shutting your eyes, but what it does do is it just takes away the distractions of things around you. So you might get distracted by the filtered light coming into your room, or, other things that might be moving. So just go ahead and shut your eyes down. And the moment you shut your eyes down, you're brought into a very present state of mind. You get rid of all those distractions around you visually. You might hear things around you, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, because we can use sometimes those sounds in the distance to focus on. So we're never going to be able to shut our mind up from thinking. The mind will think involuntarily in the same way that our heart beats. We can't sort of stop that from happening or change that at all, or control that. So allow the thoughts to come and go. They will do anyway. And what you can start to do is just notice your state of being right now. Notice the thoughts that might be coming in and out of your mind. And what you can do is just notice them and then let them pass by. In much the same way that, you might look up into the sky and see the clouds passing over. You can watch them for a while, but you know that they're going to pass over the top of you. And your thoughts are a little bit the same. They'll come in. You may choose to get involved in the thought. And within that thought, there may be a follow-on, a flow-on effect. Or you can choose to just watch it and then see it pass by. And a good way to kind of let them, a way in which we can let them pass by, is just to focus on our breathing. So go ahead and just notice your breath, and start by feeling the breath move up and down from your belly to your chest. And as it makes its way up, it kind of expands the skin across your lungs and into the bronchioles and across the skin and your chest, all the way up to your collarbones. And then watch how it moves down and how your lungs deflate, and it takes that width from the chest into your belly. And do that for the rest of the time that we're here, any time that you see yourself wandering off into thought patterns, see if you can bring yourself back to this breathing in and out through your nose, just watching the breath move up and down. Watch the space that it creates. See the width and the expansion on the inhalation. And see the deflation and the letting go and that little bit of surrender of your breath that happens as you breathe out. And then as your breath starts to become a nice even rhythm, just bring that space behind the eye to your attention. And while you're focusing in here, you may still notice the breathing, you may still notice your thoughts, you may still notice sounds around you. And this is the goal. This is where we are in our practice, just noticing. And as we get better at noticing and letting go, it becomes more of a meditation. So sitting in that space behind the eyes, watching the breath, being the observer of your thoughts, we become or come to a place of great calmness and clarity. And so you may even see that space become calmer and clearer across the landscape behind your eyes. You may notice the vastness and the points in the distance. And if you can almost draw the parameters around that space, bring yourself to the center of that. And in that space behind your eyes, with yourself firmly in the center, feel into this expanse of nothingness around you in that space. And notice the ambience of the space that you're standing in your mind's eye. Notice the width and the breadth and the length of space around you. And as you feel that space around you, holding you in that beautiful, calm place behind the eyes, see if you can feel the warmth of that space. See if you can feel a nourishment of having that expanse around you, having nothing drill past the parameters of your mind's eye. Almost hammocking your mind and your body to keep it clear and still and calm and present. And feel the breath. And as you notice possibly thoughts that come through and break through the barriers that you've created there for yourself to in that calm space, just notice them. Notice that you may be thinking about your schedule today, or you may be thinking about things that you've got to do later on this evening, or people that you have conflict with, or appointments. Just notice if they come in, let them in, but don't engage with them, just watch them. And when you notice them, you come back to that place in the center of your mind's eye and you breathe again. And that stuff will still be there when you leave this space behind your eyes, but it's parked for now. And within this clear, calm space, you get to build your resilience, you get to build your calmness, you get to build that clarity so that all your decisions that you need to make today come from a place where there hasn't been struggle, there hasn't been this busyness, and a shortening of time where you have to do things in haste. This comes when we're busy and we haven't given ourselves time. So this is the time to give back to yourself within the parameters of your mind's eye, to put some distance between you and stress. Just feeling your breath reverberate through the body, creating this tempo and vibration of life to remind you of your presence here now, the acknowledgement of your energy means that we're alive. It means that we are here now. How we choose to use our energy is a direct choice from your conscious mind. So as you become clearer and more resilient and calmer, you get to make more informed choices. You get space between the stimulus, which is our perceived threat to ourselves, which becomes stress if we take it on, and your response to that. And this is where you build that resilience right here. And when you notice your thoughts becoming a running train, when you notice those distractions, you bring yourself back to the breath, back to that space behind the eyes. And you put distance between the stimulus and your response to it. There's just a couple of minutes left in that space behind your eyes. So I always set a timer for myself in a mindfulness or meditation session, because I think it's really nice to know that we have just a certain amount of time to do our meditation sometimes. So we'll stay here just for a couple of minutes. I'm not going to stay in that space, to notice as much as you can those thoughts, those feelings, pay attention to them, and try to just continue to create that space for yourself for your last couple of minutes here. Just start to notice the head and the heaviness of your head, and draw your chin down to your chest now, and just feel a little stretch through the neck muscles. See if you can depress your shoulders down so it stretches through the base of the neck all the way through to underneath your skull, and that ligament and muscle that runs from the base of the skull down to the top of your shoulders. If you want to apply some pressure, you can link your fingers around the back of the head and gently press down as well. And from here, just keep the eyes closed, but start to lift the head up. Just take the hands back to your lap, and really slowly and gently let your eyes blink open. Take a couple of big breaths. If you feel like a stretch, take your arms all the way up. Do whatever you need to do. You can even fold forward there, but just stretch your body out a little bit. Nice. So I think the thing that's nice to remember is that you don't need to have any experience or be any kind of enlightened being to be mindful or to practice meditation. It's a practice like everything else. If you want to get better at juggling, you practice it. If you want to get better at yoga, you practice it. And mindfulness and meditation is no different. It's not easy at all. I think it's probably even harder than learning how to stretch your hamstrings out to do the splits, because I think it's very easy to be, in this world that we live in, super distracted by the stuff that goes on around us. So I think just getting on the mat, and something that I've really done a lot of, because I've always felt very difficult for me. I'm super busy in my head and a bit of a type A personality, and I've always found it really hard to sit still. And one thing that really helped me was setting up a space at home where I just go to, and I go to it every single morning, and it's on the couch with my favorite pillow. I don't even have a coffee. I just go straight there in the morning. So it's like I'm not distracted by anything. I've got to take the dog out for a quick wee first usually, but once that's done, I sit on the mat, and that's my practice. And sometimes I'll sit for 3 minutes and be angry about it that it didn't work, and sometimes I'll sit for 20 and go somewhere into the universe. And you know both of those situations are good. Sometimes we get what we need, and other times we get what we want. And both of those things are a part of the practice. You're not always going to get what you want in a meditation. You're not going to always get what you want from your work. You're not going to get what you want from your relationships. So I think that when we're mindful to that, it becomes less of a struggle. We're not battling ourselves. And, you know, like I said, I'm not perfect. I'll sit on the mat and be angry about the fact that I can't do it some days. And other days it'll be seamless, and I'll get there and just go, wow, how come I can't have that all the time? And that's the practice. You know, sometimes my head is full and sometimes I just cannot get into that zone. But don't let it discourage you. Just keep getting on the mat and keep practicing. Have your spot at home where you know that's where it can be done, and you get on there, and it might just be in the corner of your bedroom. It doesn't really matter where it is. There's no need for incense and candles and all the paraphernalia that you think. It's just you and your mind, and you know, that's all there is. And the more you do it, the better you get at it. And the thing that is has the most impact is how it infiltrates every single part of your life, how you become just so much clearer in the way you live, so much more mindful about the choices you make. And that's what you want to get out of it. It's not about being less of an asshole or better at, you know, no road rage or whatever. Those things do definitely, you know, there's some things that are nice to have and be, but you know, I think it's just like the little things, it's everyday stuff that becomes really clear from your meditation practice, how that changes. So just try it, get on your mat a little bit each day, and I promise it will make a huge difference. It certainly has for the people that I've worked with and the stuff that I've done myself. And I'm still learning, I'm still, you know, trying to be a better meditator and a better practitioner of it, but you just got to keep practicing. So I hope that you felt you had a little bit of space in that today. So that's the main aim, just getting space from our head and from the stuff that goes on in our heads. So I hope you enjoyed a bit of that. It wasn't too hard. And maybe it was like you were like cursing me the whole time. That's still good. That's still a practice. I'm not offended by that at all.
Thank you so much, Donna. And it's true words that you speak. Like, it's just enabling us ourselves a bit of time to do this is such a wonderful benefit. And thank you so much, Danny, Matt, Chris, Mitchie, Melanie, Trina, Brody, and Carmen for all just taking that time today. You've made a commitment to come and just explore how nice we can feel. And I love what you say, Donna, as well. Like, when we do practice more, even if it's a couple of minutes a day, it enables us to have that space and that time to think maybe before we react to situations, and just be a bit more comfortable in our day-to-day. So the fact that all of you here are mindful of that is such an amazing step. So absolutely wrapped that you could all join this morning. Thank you so much. Do any of you have any questions at all for Donnie you'd like to ask for the last part of our session?
No, thank you so much. No, that was great. Again, it's my second one, so yeah, it helped massively last week. So it's something that I look forward to. So yeah, thank you.
Awesome. You're welcome. Really good to hear. Yeah, doesn't take much, does it? It's just like those little moments, and yeah, it does make a difference. Definitely.
Yeah, thank you.
I like that. I think next week we should bring your dog to meditation. I love that there's a pooch there. That's so great. Is it a boy or a girl? Hi.
Hi. And then here comes Freya. Okay, we can do, maybe for the finale of our Yoga Vine series, maybe we can introduce a pooch special. I might pop that in.
I'm going to have to go buy a dog.
Oh, sorry, Danny. Oh.
I'll have a cardboard cutout.
Yeah. So for everyone that's attended today as well, if again you're seeking some more assistance and so forth, as I mentioned earlier, the girls have really just killed it and diversified so quickly. So from having this beautiful studio on St George's Terrace where we would actively walk into, we're now able to have them on our screen. So they've adapted their classes, and that includes meditation, mindfulness meditation, yoga, stretching, all these lovely things onto a new part of their website, which is Yoga Vine Online. So you guys have all got the link, but I'll send it again with my little thank you after this, guys. But certainly that is a great resource, because you get to have Donna and Kate in your lounge rooms or bedrooms and things like that in a good way.
And actually, if I there is actually a free meditation on there. So even if you just went on the website and you're like, I don't really want to sign up, that's cool. If you scroll down to the bottom, there's actually a free meditation. You can just click on it and it'll show the whole 10 minutes or whatever it is that's on there. So it's just like a little sort of guided meditation. So even if you don't sign up, that's cool. But there's some free stuff that we're going to continue to put up, because we just want to keep, active in the community. And it's so important to have these types of things. And I was saying to someone last night, they just need to be doing this in schools. We need to be teaching our kids how to do this. Life's not certainly going to get any easier, I don't think, as we get more and more, I don't know, with technology and the busyness that we just keep seeing, and people that are the powers that be, it creates stress for people in so many different ways. Growing up is hard too for kids. So I just would love to see more and more of this. So we are really committed to putting some free content out there as well. And there's tons of stuff online as well everywhere. Just Google meditation. There's heaps of podcasty things, and so get on it. It just makes such a difference. It's really good for all of us. So but thanks, Darcy, that's awesome.
No worries. That just reminded me too, actually. I appreciate it might be tricky for you, Danny, because you are in one of the spaces at the moment. But if any of you have other family members or children at home that would like to join in this, please don't be shy. Like, you get the direct invite being you're part of the ecosystem, but I appreciate a lot of you have families as well. So, if they want to sit in and experience these classes, like, they're more than welcome to do so. So again, thank you everyone for taking this time to zen into our Thursday, which is quite divine. And thank you so much, Donna, for your commitment to us to provide this every week. You're such a darling. And again, next week, guys, at Thursday, 8 a.m, we'll be joined by one of the lovely ladies if you'd like to participate. Also, jump onto that landing page, so Community Virtual, that has all the other links for things coming up. So happy hour's the next one. So that's kind of the reverse to this, but hey, it's still lovely. So don't be shy. And again, thank you so much for your commitment today, guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful Thursday. And thanks everyone. We'll see you soon.
Cheers, guys. See you later. Have a good weekend.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. See you.
Yeah, that was great. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.